I had just finished counseling Mrs. Harper that afternoon when she began crying, telling me she didn't know what to do, seeing her marriage sink, as her husband had left her for another more than a year ago. I was forced to wake up from my seat, go across the table and try to comfort her. Patting her back to comfort her, she held my hand, looked me in the eyes and told me she felt safe with me. I had no clue what she meant. This was her fifth counseling session in less than 2 weeks. She made her advances while I tried to resist, but I never should have accepted this session to begin with, seeing how close we were becoming. Well, with the best of intentions, I tried to calm her down and be there for her, but a pat on the back, a hug, and then she wanted more, and before I realized, she had her way. Seeing that I went on to become a sexual predator and a horrible person with more than 300 women on my list, you might find it hard to believe that I regretted what Mrs. Harper and I did. That was the beginning, the birth of a monster as I deserve to be called. This is my story, and I'll delve into details, so this might be a little disturbing for some people. If you're such, then now is the time to reconsider and leave. From the beginning, I graduated from the seminary with top honors. At 23 years, looking fresh, handsome, and intelligent, I was immediately posted to the main city church. As usual, the perks of a young, good-looking, and single pastor followed me. I was not married, but I read many books and quickly proved my understanding on marital affairs to be recommended to temporarily fill the post of counselor when the previous person had passed away. That's how, just a few months into service, I met Mrs. Harper. I'd never known her husband, as he must have left church to elope with the other woman. Like I told you, as a clergyman trying to do right, I deeply regretted what happened and asked God for forgiveness. I think that was the easy part, getting forgiven. The real problem was that I had tasted something. That appetite wasn't willing to go away. Mrs. Harper, or should I say Mrs. Harper and I, had created a monster that would be difficult to tame. I struggled to keep it together for a while, but sitting across the table to very pretty ladies day after day, being vulnerable before you, finally got to me, and there was no turning back. I began with basic, unnecessarily long hugs, then groping. At first, I striked it on the wrong person. Young Miss Stephanie was a no-nonsense believer and stormed out of my office to report me. I was terrified and knew my life had come to an end. However, what happened next will shock and lead me to teach you the rules of a successful predator. Number 1, always be above reproach. Given society's tendency to believe and only think the best of people, especially people in positions of authority and power, it's difficult for the word of a victim to stand above the word of the abuser. So what do you think happened when Stephanie reported our incident?